Right, so I know I said I weren't going to do any more videos on this, but I think this is important. So because I've been going over things in my head and how these chain of events could unfold, right? Because there's a few things that are still sort of a bit shaky, yeah? And I think I've worked it out. I mean, obviously, who knows, innit? I weren't now, could be wrong, but there's a picture in it looks a bit suspect to me, right? And obviously, people are going to say, well, who took that picture, right? So I'm going to show you something. Right, so this picture here, yeah? Now, what do you notice about this picture? I'll tell you first of all, right? It's daylight outside. Yeah, can you see that? You can see that it's daylight outside, right? Now, who took this picture? I know a few people have already said it, yeah? Who took this picture? And I believe, my personal opinion, he's not awake there. I think this is after he's gone downstairs at 3 p.m. after waking up, spoken to the fan, Diana, gone back up to his room because he said to her that he was going to go and have something to eat, yeah? I believe he's gone back up to his room, ordered food, because the hotel are in on it, they've drugged the coffee or whatever they've bought him up, right? Because I believe this picture here is the last picture of him alive. That's my belief. It's daylight outside, the curtains are drawn. He's laid there on the settee, right? I believe whoever came in the room set this up, right? He hasn't got his bracelet on and his watch, which he had on when he went down to see that fan, Diana, right? So they've nicked that. They've nicked that, made it look like he's laying there looking at his laptop. But I bet if we could go around the front of him and see him now, I bet his eyes are closed. I think he's been sedated through what he's ordered on room service because he was going back up to have something to eat, yeah? And think about it, yeah? When you look at the drugs, yeah, like that, say that the TV getting smashed there, yeah? Now, that have had to have been a kick with a trainer on, yeah? So whoever's come in the room, I believe, has even gone as far as taken one of his trainers off, put it on, and kicked that in so that the print will match up, yeah? And then also the drugs on the table. If you look here, right, there is a fingerprint in that powder. Now, to make that look genuine, that would need to be his fingerprint. Now, how would they do that? How would they get his fingerprint in that if he wasn't on drugs and that? Because I don't believe he was on drugs at all. So, I believe this is the last picture of him alive. And I believe he's unconscious there. And then some people are saying, how comes his body is parallel, yeah, to the hotel on the picture of him on the floor outside? That's because he's been picked up like that, yeah, and thrown out. They've put his hat on, they've put his bag over him. The trainers will be unlaced because they've taken them off of him here, kicked the telly in. They needed him unconscious in order to get his finger to touch the drug bag that was holding the pink cocaine or whatever it is they call it. He's unconscious here. This could very well be the last picture of him alive. That's what I believe, because it is daylight outside. The curtains are drawn. If you was going to stage that room, you would have to close them curtains to do it. Who took this photograph? Who took that photograph? I believe this is the last picture of him alive. And to get his fingerprint in that dab, in the drugs, well, if he's not on drugs and he ain't doing it, someone had to have pushed his finger into it because it's going to make it look genuine, isn't it? Are his fingerprints on the bag? Are his fingerprints on any of that stuff that is on the table? Is there a trainer print on that? Because he ain't got any glass smashes or cuts or anything like that over his hand or his forehead or anything like that, right? So I believe they've gone as far as took his trainer off, put it on, kicked the telly in so it leaves his print on now, his trainer print, and then put his trainer back on, and that's why his trainers are unlaced. They put his hat on him and then put his bag on him, And then they've picked him up in that position, right, and thrown him over the balcony, like that. And that is how I believe it has gone, all right? But I believe that that picture of Liam now is the last one where he's alive, but unconscious. How did they get him unconscious? The food that he's ordered, or whatever he's had, they could have just drugged the coffee, sedated him, put him out. Now they can do whatever they want with him. Put his hand on the laptop. I mean, it's funny, isn't it, that we just can't see his face. That's what I believe's happened, people.